I'm Jennifer Berry with, hey everyone, good morning. I'm Jennifer Berry with Earth911.com, and today we are talking with Shane Valentine, celebrity chef, author, all around pretty good guy, to talk about how to buy better in bulk, and maybe he'll actually convince me to remember my containers and do it myself. Morning, Shane.
Morning, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm kind of hungry. Where are you right now? I'm jealous.
I am smack dab in the middle of the bulk section of a Whole Foods in Nevada, California.
Oh, there's a place called Nevada, California?
It's just north of San Francisco. It's beautiful.
That is confusing. So Shane's only in one state currently, but so I'm hoping today, Shane, that after we're done chatting, that you'll convince me that I should take the time to buy in bulk, because I always see it and it looks really cool, but I feel a little intimidated about the process, and I think other people do too. What are some of the misconceptions they might have about just doing this?
It's like anything starting out new for anybody. We've been, I guess, trained, conditioned, marketed to forever that you buy stuff in packages, in a box, in a jar, in a tube, and you buy that amount, and that's what you do. But the bulk section gives us options of buying in the size and quantity. So I think one of the biggest misconceptions is it's kind of, like an oxymoron. Bulk doesn't mean like a pallet at Costco. Bulk could mean buying just this much spice by weight. So if you could try it out, buy a couple of things, and we'll do some comparisons. I will almost guarantee that you will be a converted bulk shopper.
Whoa, that's a pretty significant guarantee. All right. I'll try it out.
Okay.
And I did read, you brought up a really interesting point about packaging and like packaging waste. I read some really interesting stats from the Bulk is Green Council, and they were talking about how, for example, I love almonds. Everybody in our office is vegan, so we eat a lot of almonds, and but if everybody in America bought all of their almonds in bulk, we'd save 72 million pounds of packaging waste.
Right.
So I feel bad about not doing this yet. But so like when it comes to packaging, how do I remember to bring my stuff to, bring my packages to the store, and what if I forget? What do I do?
Sure. This is just like anything new again. I remember when there was a big push. Like for us, it's just normal to bring your own bags to the grocery store. But it wasn't too long ago where you just grabbed bags, disposable bags to the grocery store, and you went home. And it was horrible and wasteful and everything. So it's, like anything now, it's just second nature. I always have the bag in my car. It's very easy. And in my bag, I keep some containers that I use often. So it just becomes a habit that you form. But if you don't and you forget, many of the stores have options that you can use, different sizes. We can use like little ones like this or that. They have different pint-sized sizes. Some even have these great, like the bio bag type of reusable bags. You can use them again. And the beauty about this is that you could use these options from the store, and then they become your container, and you just use them over and over again.
All right, so I'm not a terrible person if I forget my stuff every now and then.
No.
That's no. So, whenever I think about buying in bulk, I always just think about like dried fruit and nuts. But what are some other cool things that we can get that maybe we should try and convert over all the time?
Well, one of my biggest favorite groups is the spice section. I can tell you, I can probably walk into almost any pantry in America and find a jar of something that's been there forever.
Ooh, I'm so guilty of that. I'm sure my spices are probably really old.
So no need to worry. And the great thing about buying spices in bulk is that you can buy exactly what you need as often as you want, and you'll save a ton. It allows you to experiment with recipes, because you can literally buy a tablespoon of something instead of buying the whole jar. So as an example, let's say you want to make an Indian dish, and this is a garam masala. This jar costs, I think, $4, right? if you don't cook Indian a lot, I guarantee you this will be in your shelf for like 5 years. So you can buy this amount, which is about a tablespoon. I weighed out. And by weight, this is 22 cents. And this was $4. So,
okay. So I'm doing some math in my head, and we're at like, it was what, 1,000 times more expensive. I know that's wrong, but I mean that sounds like a pretty big deal.
this is this is like a 1.5 ounce jar, and this becomes like 0.01 of a pound. So even though from a sticker shock standpoint, what happens is you'll see a jar like this in bulk, and it'll say $21.99 a pound, and it just sounds ridiculous. But by weight, by volume, this is 22 cents. And you can experiment with that recipe. If it was an epic failure, move on. You're out 22 cents instead of being out $4.
Oh, I like those odds a lot. I could go stop over and get a coffee or something and not feel so bad about it.
No, I mean, there's a ton of them. I mean, this is like sea salt in this container, this weight. I did these this morning. This was 17 cents. This amount.
Shane, can you get gumballs anymore for 17 cents? Or I feel like those are always a quarter.
You could, no, you can't. And another one, this is oregano. Again, 0.75 ounce. This is $5.99 organic in bulk, 38 cents.
Wow.
So you tell me.
I wish I had a calculator on me right now because I would tell you. That's kind of
so and the beauty about this, just to kind of, because I remember someone asked me a question recently, was they think of bulk, they think of Costco, they think of huge amounts. And this works for a large family. I mean, I have a family of 5, I have, 3 little ones. We rifle through food in our house. But it also works for the single person because you can literally buy bits and pieces, what you need as you need it. You don't have to buy the 2-pound bag of flour. You can buy 2 cups worth of flour. And that'll drastically have you save a ton of money. And it's as you know, way greener to to not have all that packaging and just reuse containers over and over again.
Yeah, it's great that you brought that up because one of our readers commented on a story that we did in bulk about bulk buying last month, and she said, I'm a single person, and so I only buy paper towels and toilet paper in bulk. This doesn't make a lot of sense for me. So I'm glad you answered that because, or at least in my household, it's my husband and I, but he doesn't like all the same crazy food that I do. So I think that probably a lot of stuff goes to waste. So that's really helpful. And when it comes to shipping and transport, you talked about it. It's greener to buy less, and then we waste less. We have less packaging. It seems like overall there aren't really a lot of negatives to buying in bulk. Maybe could you tell us some beginner mistakes that people might make and ways to correct that, like pre-measuring or things like that we might be able to use, or how can we make it the best?
I would say, be adventurous. Just go out and try some of these things that you would normally buy and buy it in bulk. I would say, just in the beginning, just to get kind of used to it, is do a little comparison. Go out and say, just kind of see for yourself. If I was to buy this costs how much on the shelf? And if I'm going to put a couple of teaspoons in a container, what does that cost? And do it in the store before you leave, and so you feel confident. You don't get sticker shock when you go out to the register. The other thing is, if you forget your bags, no big deal, or your containers, no big deal. They have options. And I would say, don't trade out your whole entire pantry in the beginning. Do a couple things at a time. Some of your staples, things you use a lot, and then and work your way into it that way. I mean, you can always do like a pantry audit, and go through your stuff and see what you have, and start pulling out things if you don't remember the last time you used it, just let it go.
A pantry audit. I have never heard of this. maybe our next hangout, you should teach us how to do that for real. That sounds actually really cool.
Yeah. Why don't we go to someone's house and we'll just open the cupboards and see what we get, right?
Oh, I wonder if one of our editors would open up their kitchen for us. And I'll put them on the spot after we get off our chat. But
Let's do it.
you're right. If we haven't used it in a while, it's probably not worth it to keep it, and it probably has seen some better days. Shane, is there anything else that we need to know about making this an easy process or wasting less? I mean, you've pretty much covered everything that I think is important, the convenience and money, because I'm tired and I want to save cash and I don't have a lot of extra time. But is there anything else that we need to know to make it a good experience?
It's just a little bit of a commitment. I mean, you really have to say, I'm gonna go through that section. I know it's intimidating. Pick off a couple of things and try it out. The one thing that I would like the viewers to kind of remember is your tendency probably is to kind of overbuy, because we're not used to scooping our own things, and you would wind up filling this up, for example, and you're not going to use this much worth. So kind of in the back of your mind, think less is more, and then you can always go back and readjust of what amount fits your family, whether you're single or family, what have you, and then just work that process that way. It's food is a journey. It's not a destination, and just if you embrace that part of it, start to know where your food comes from, you start taking control back. You buy the amount that you want, not someone else telling you what you should buy and at what quantity, and you start building, and you go down that road, we'd be in a much better place.
Those are wise words, and I feel inspired to take a journey right now over to get some lunch and go audit my own pantry. Thanks so much, Shane, for joining us, and I'll go ahead and make a promise here on air that the next time I go to the grocery store, I will try and buy a few things in bulk and give it a try for myself. And even though I work at Earth 911, we've all got things we can improve. So I'll give it a try, and I hope everybody else who watches today will do it for themselves and the planet and their pocketbooks, and give it a whirl themselves. And next time, Shane, maybe you can go and clean out somebody's pantry, and we'll go on our next journey for sustainable food buying.
Let's do it
today. And if anybody wants to follow Shane after the chat, he's awesome. He's involved in a lot of great projects. And you can go to shanevalentine.com and see what he's up to. And, of course, go to earth911.com and see what new tips and ideas we've got to help you waste less. I'm Jennifer Berry, so Shane Valentine. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Jen.
Bye.
Bye.